What's up, everyone? My name is Diego, and welcome back, to another video in this channel. So today's video is about cutting, how to do a cutting phase and lose fat the right way. I've already finished my cutting, and I'm going to take you through, into step by step, covering topics like carb cycling, refeeding, reverse dieting, and what types of foods you should eat. So what kind of cardio you should do, and whether your workout should change. And basically how I do my own cutting. So the first thing we are going to talk is about caloric deficit. So now this is going to be the most crucial and important things when it comes to trying to lose body fat. Because if you are not a caloric deficit, you're not going to lose weight. So you could literally eat vegetable, fruits, and lean chicken all day, but if you are still in a surplus or not in caloric deficit, you're not going to lose fat. So what is a caloric deficit? We all have a maintenance calorie level, which is called your TDE, Total daily energy expenditure. Basically, is your TDE. So basically, what your TDE is how many calories you burn in a day. It represents your maintenance caloric level. So my maintenance is here around 2007. Is around 2,700 calories. This means that if I were consuming the same calories doing my regular workout routines and my normal daily activities, I would burn about 2,700 calories throughout the day. And if I consume the same calories, I wouldn't gain or lose weight. So if I would maintain the same weight, so basically, if you want to gain muscle, you need to consume a caloric surplus. That means I would consume about 3,000 calories, giving my body extra fuel to build muscle. If I want to lose weight, meaning lose fat, I would need to eat below that number. I consume around 2,000 calories, and when I'm deeper into a cut, I might go 200 calories lower than the calories lower to ensure my body isn't getting that extra fuel, so I would have to use fat as an energy source. So that's how you burn fats, by being in a deficit, to find out what your daily expenditure, caloric expenditure is. There are plenty of calculators online that you can use. What I recommend is one of these calculators, finding the number it gives you and trying to consume what amount of calories for about 3 days. So track your weight every morning. Right after going in the bathroom, write it down on a notebook and see how your weight changes while consuming that number of calories. So if your weight says that the same grades, you've found your maintenance calories. So if it's going up, it means you need to reduce that calories number. So it's going down too quickly, you can increase a little. Find your maintenance calories is the most important thing. So once you found your maintenance calories, you should enter a caloric deficit. I like to create a deficit about 400 calories. So with my maintenance calories is more than 2,000, I need to consume around 2,000 calories to start my cutting phase. Now, if you are someone who likes to do a lot of cardio, you might not need to create as much of a food deficit, since you'll be compensating with the extra cardio and burning more calories. So cardio doesn't burn fat, it burns calories. So which can help put you in that deficit. That's why I recommend. That's why I recommend doing cardio, because it will allow you to eat a little more food, and it speeds up the overall process. So again, I recommend, let's go. I recommend a deficit of 400 calories. Don't create too large a deficit, because this can slow down your metabolism and make it harder to lose fat in the long term, the long run. Also, you can mess up your hormones and lose muscle too. We don't want to lose muscle, especially if you're a natural lifter. Don't go into too large of a deficit, because you risk losing muscle mass. Now, what I recommend to try and maintain as much muscle possible is to limit your deficit as much as possible. So the slower you lose weight, the better, as this means you are losing less muscle over time. You might lose some size, as happens with many natural lifters. So I recommend consuming 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. I consume a little more than 1 gram because I have a high protein diet, especially when I'm cutting. So to help preserve a bit more muscle. So the second thing we're going to cover is the type of cardio you should do. I'm a big fan of low intensity. All right, so steady state cardio. There is a big difference between low intensity cardio and high intensity interval training. There are two most popular types of cardio with high, all right, with high intensity interval training. You don't have to do it for as long. It's more erratic, all right? So high intensity sprints followed by a slow pace. I don't like doing this because I feel they use up too much energy, all right? So, and if you're already training on top of that, it can interfere, all right? It can interfere with your workout, all right? So that's why I prefer low intensity, all right? So steady state cardio, you keep a slow pace. It's good for your heart rate, and I like doing fasted cardio. So for me, it's do fasted cardio every morning when I'm cutting. All right. So depending on how deep am I into my cutting, that will determine how long the cardio session lasts. At the beginning of my cutting phase, I do fasted cardio for about 30 minutes almost every day of the week. When I'm deep into my cutting, getting really lean, around 6 or 7 weeks in, I start doing 30 minutes every morning. All right. So additionally, I try to ensure I'm leading a more active lifestyle. All right. You can track your steps, trying to ensure you are hitting 10,000 steps per day. You can include your cardio, your walk with that. Try to hit 10,000 steps per day. Be more active when trying to enter a caloric deficit, because this will help overall. Help you to burn more fats and calories throughout the day. All right, so let's talk about your workout style. Should you train differently when you're cutting or bulking? I believe you should. Some people don't, but I think you should. For me, it's important to ensure that you're hitting each muscle group twice a week, because you need to make sure your body knows it still needs to maintain that muscle. Even when you are in caloric deficit, it's important. All right, let's go. It's more important to ensure that you're still forcing your muscle to grow, all right? And don't drastically change your workouts when you're cutting. Keep the same weight on compound exercises, and some people bulk up more than do more reps when cutting. I don't believe in that, all right? I believe you should keep the same workout as much as possible, maintaining the strength, all right, you built during the bulking phase. Do what made you gain muscle. You don't drastically change that during the cutting phase. So one thing you can change is the amount of volume. All right, this is so important. The amount of volume. You don't need to do as much volume during a cutting phase. So keep your normal workout, but try to reduce some of the volume and increase the intensity of your sets a bit, all right, bits. So try to do high intensity compound sets. So remember to eat properly to fuel those workouts so that you can maintain your strength. All right. So once that workout is done, I like to use the post-workout meal as a high calorie meal, because you need to glucose to fuel your body after the workout. I like doing this to ensure I'm replenishing my body with the necessary nutrients. All right. So let's talk about nutrition. All right. What kind of nutrition is good during cut phase? So as I mentioned it, you need to be in a caloric deficit, but it's not just about cutting calories. Cut calories smartly. Don't reduce the number of meals throughout the day. I recommend eat 3 to 5 meals a day with a good amount of protein in each meal. All right. So one thing I like to do is a carb cycle. On an intense workouts day, I consume more carbs, like on the leg day, which is one of the hardest, and I consume fewer carbs on lighter workouts day, or I might even have a low carb day during the week. So this will help keep your metabolism active and trick your body into not thinking it's in such a deep cut. All right. So I will do this for a week or two. Then I go back to a regular diet. This is called refeeding. All right. This is called refeeding. Make sure to include plenty of vegetable, fruits, and lean proteins. Choose high quality foods, avoid processed foods and sugars, and stay hydrated with water, right? So, all right, that was a quick summary of how I do a cutting phase and lose body fat the right way. If you want more details any of these topics, leave it below comments and I will make a more detailed video about it. All right, so thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. All right, so I have 1-on-1 cutting too. All right, so me and you on 1-on-1 cutting. All right, so I see you in the next video. I see you in the next video. Like this video, thumbs up, and bye.